Katsuki felt like Takeru was avoiding him after the sludge villain attack. He ran off somewhere after school and rarely replied when Katsuki would call or text. It didn't seem like anything was wrong per se. In fact, Takeru seemed happier. This went on for 10 months. 10 months of Katsuki never being able to catch the green ant in a proper conversation. The UA entrance exam marked the end of those 10 months without his best friend when he ran into Takeru in front of the school. "Yo, Takeru!" The green ant turned around with his face scrunched like he just ate a lemon. "Oh, it's you." Katsuki ran up and swung his arm around his friend. "I'm so glad that you're still trying out for UA. Maybe we'll get into the same class." Takeru rolled his eyes and kept walking. "Whatever, Kachan." Suddenly he tripped, and Katsuki, having the misfortune of putting his weight on him, went down with him. But they never made contact with the ground. Katsuki felt the back of his shirt get tugged, and he was once again standing straight next to Takeru. A girl with a round face, I used that, smiled at them, and said, "Sorry for using my quirk on you, but it's a bad omen to trip and fall." "I didn't need your help," Takeru grumbled. "He means thank you, and good luck," Katsuki happily supplied. "You'll need it against us in the exam." Roundface's smile grew, and her eyes flashed a wicked gleam. "Yes, good luck to us all." She trotted off towards the exam entrance. Katsuki and Takeru had to part ways for the written exam, but they were reunited for the introduction of the practical when they were assigned seats next to each other. "Takeru, it's President Mike. You think he's one of the teachers?" he whispered. "Quiet, he's got to explain the rules," Takeru grumbled back. "But yeah, probably." President Mike explained how the rules worked with points and whatnot when a stiff kid with glasses asked what the fourth kind of robot was for. President Mike didn't seem too bothered by the interruption and explained how the fourth robot was worth 0 points. There's gotta be more to it than that. He turned to the green "What do you think?" He sighed. "It'll probably be huge, something to run away from. So don't be stupid, you idiot." Takeru flicked him in the forehead and left for his arena. The practical exam wasn't really that hard. All Katsuki had to do was find and blow up every robot he could. But when the zero-pointer crashed through a couple buildings, there was a blonde-looking, dazed all as heck, standing right in front of him in the zero-pointer's path, while everyone else was running away. Katsuki couldn't let this poor guy get stomped, so he blasted over, grabbed him, and then blasted them out of the way. He tried to ask the blonde if he was okay, but the guy just gave 2 thumbs up and said, "Way." Great, now I'm stuck babysitting an idiot when I could be getting more points. Katsuki spent the last minute and a half of the test moving and protecting the blonde, and then left the guy at the gates when it was over. He looked everywhere where examinees were allowed to try and find Takeru, but he was nowhere to be found. After an hour of searching, he gave up and went home. Izuku was not proud of his actions in the practical exam. While everyone else around him was destroying robots left and right, he wasn't able to pin down a single one. But then the zero-pointer crashed into the arena, and he saw a girl trapped in the rubble in its path. He felt the same urge as when he tried to save Kachan. He ran and jumped with one for all towards the robot. With one punch, he destroyed the thing. It was only then that he registered that the extreme pain was in his limbs, and that he was now falling. Suddenly he got slapped in the face hard, and he stopped falling. It was the same feeling of weightlessness that he had felt before the exam. Then he was falling again, but slightly more gently. He saw the round-faced girl puke, and that's not a pretty sight. But then he was overcome with agony until a little old lady came and kissed him. Then he passed out. 1 week later, finds 2 different boys in 2 different houses. One that clutches to his father as he watches President Mike tell him that he made it into his dream school. And one that hides himself in his room to watch All Might tell him that UA will be his hero academia. One smiles brightly as his parents congratulate him. his father gently and his mother a little brashly. The other runs with watery eyes to tell his mother the good news, who promptly cries a river. Katsuki was excited, so excited that he got into class 20 minutes early. Whoops. But that meant that he would see everyone who came into class before they saw him, so he got comfy and put his feet up. Maybe that was a mistake, because that sparked the glasses guy from the entrance exam to reprimanding him for having no respect for the school. Katsuki just shot him a bored look and tried to wave him off with his hand. He did sit correctly so that the glasses guy would leave him alone, though. No use in picking fights. That interaction made him completely miss a blonde that later entered the classroom and approached him. "Hey, thanks for saving my butt at the entrance exam. I don't think I would have made it without your help. I'm Kaminari." Kaminari held out his hand to shake Katsuki, and he took it. But he needed answers. "I'm Bakugo. Why were you acting all dazed, though?" "Oh, I kinda overused my quirk, putting me in idiot mode. I control electricity." "That's messed up, but every quirk has its drawbacks." "Maybe you can work on not letting that happen again here." He gave the blonde a smile. "Thanks, Bakubro," he said, returning the smile twofold. Then he sat in the chair to Katsuki's left. The door opened again, and there he was. "Dekiru!" Katsuki launched himself at the grumpy brunette and enveloped him in a hug. Get off me, you idiot!" he yelled, struggling to push the blonde off of him. Glasses came to Dekiru's rescue and Katsuki's disappointment. "You must stop this at once. Class is about to start," the strict teen proclaimed, chopping the air with stiff arms. Katsuki begrudgingly let go and shot a glare at Glasses. Roundface bounded in the door before any of them could move. "Ah, the plain-looking boy! You got in? Just like Mike said you would." "Not like I wouldn't have made it without your help," Dekiru pouted. The girl ignored his comment. "I wonder what our teachers will be like. Oh, I'm so nervous." A tired voice called out from the doorway. "If you're here to socialize, then get out." The group at the doorway froze and stared at the man in the yellow sleeping bag. "This is the hero course." The homeless-looking man introduced himself as Aizawa, their homeroom teacher. Then he gave them gym uniforms and requested that they get dressed and head outside. Once everyone had gathered outside, Aizawa explained that they would be conducting a quirk assessment test and that Katsuki had to throw a ball with his quirk as an example. Everyone was chattering excitedly after his explosive throw, but when one girl exclaimed, "Whoa, this is gonna be fun!" Aizawa gave an ultimatum. The one with the lowest score across all 8 events will be judged hopeless and will be expelled. Katsuki cast a concerned glance at his quirkless friend before the test began. Katsuki didn't judge any of the events as being noteworthy until the ball throw came back around and Dekiru threw the ball just as far as he did. "Dekiru? When did you get a quirk? And why the hell didn't you tell me?" Katsuki ran over to where his friend was. He just glared at the confused blonde and walked back to the crowd. Aizawa put a hand on Katsuki's shoulder. "What do you mean by that, Bakugo?" He popped off a couple small explosions at the shock since he wasn't paying attention to the teacher. "Sorry, I've known him since we were in diapers, and to my knowledge, he didn't have a quirk." "I see." Aizawa left it at that as they continued the last 2 tests. As Aizawa displayed the results, he told the class, "I was lying about expelling someone. That was a rational deception to bring out the best in all of you." "Oh, thank goodness." Katsuki sagged in relief and tried to confront his friend, only for their teacher to beat him to it and send the brunette to the nurse's office. He couldn't catch him after school either, so he settled with walking with Kaminari as they left campus. Katsuki couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. No matter how hard he tried to rationalize it, his closest friend not telling him about his quirk upset him.